In this video, we are testing out this super cheap RC car to see how good is it really. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. And I saw this thing on Amazon the other day from Bazolota, I think is how you call it on Amazon. They claim 18th scale. It's only two-wheel drive, but it's literally $30. That is the cheapest RC car I have ever had. And so I am very curious, like, how good is it really? Like, is it really going to be worth it? Is it a grand deal at that $30? Or is it not really worth it? I'm going to start by getting it out of the box. So in the box, you do have some just very, very basic instructions. We do need to get 2 AA batteries for the controller itself, but this is not a full RC manual like we're used to from a more hobby grade vehicle where it has exploded diagrams and all that. This is just a basics of how to get it started. 1 screwdriver to help you get the batteries in and out, a simple USB charger, and what looks to be a 600 milliamp 3.7 volt lithium ion battery. So just a 1-cell little itty bitty battery. The controller is very small, like right here compared to the size of my hand. It is a very, very small controller. Feels like this is probably not, this is not going to be proportional throttle, brake, or steering. It feels like it's just on-off kind of situation that we got going on there. Oh, looks like maybe we do have batteries in here. And then the truck itself, very small again, 18th scale, and it might be actually just a small 18th scale compared to some others that are there. It does have the soft body, has a little wing back here in the back. The tires overall feel decent for what they are, but a couple things that we're seeing in here is that's not proportional steering. Looks like the battery goes in here, and it does look like the body holds on with 4 body clips. So let's take those clips off and see what we see underneath. Okay, with the body off, we don't see anything actually, as it turns out. It looks like those might be LEDs in there. So it looks like the truck might light up. That was one of the features that it said, is that the chassis would actually light up. So it does look like non-hobby grade here. Like, you're not really meant to get in here and modify anything. We do have, of course, non-oil filled shocks. I notice these kingpins, they got a little play in them there, right? That's a little bit, that's that. But otherwise, hey, front wheel spin. It does look like this is probably electronics are in here going to, I see 2 wires coming out to right here. Fairly standard toy grade stuff here, where you get the small itty bitty motor right in here, gear reduced to a straight axle to spin the rear tires locked together. So solid rear axle on that. Fairly common design. Rear suspension very, very stiff. Front suspension a little softer, so maybe that'll work. I think basically all we need to do now is let that battery charge up, throw it in, and let's see how it does. To insert the battery, you first need to undo this screw, just back that out, and then there's a clip here that lets you come out. And to my surprise, there's another battery in here. It did say that it should come with 2, so I have 1 on the charger. This one's already plugged in, which is honestly not really a good thing. To be clear, I think Amazon got me on this one because I can actually see some evidence that this truck's actually already been driven. The rear axle had some dirt on it in a couple places. The front bumper has some scrapes on it. So I'm thinking that what I'm seeing here is where someone actually bought this, tested it, and returned it. And Amazon, being Amazon not the wiser, went ahead and sent it back out, which is fine for what I'm going to do with it. I don't care, but I don't believe that the battery would normally be plugged in from the factory. That would be a bad idea. I can now, with the charged battery, I can actually plug that one in, put it back in here, and push this clip in. Now that honestly feels like it clips in hard enough that I'm not going to worry about the screw. So now to test this controller on, vehicle on, look at that. We have LEDs shining through. So we have the bumper LEDs, and then I don't know if it's coming through on the GoPro very well here, but we have all sorts of crazy LEDs going underneath as well. That's actually kind of fun, if I'm honest. And just for a good, fun, silly size comparison, there is this truck versus the Losi LMT Gravedigger, which I think they claim is 10th scale, but really is maybe like a large 10th scale. Much bigger. I think that Gravedigger could clearly drive over this without even noticing. So let's give it a test. First, here in the garage, I have a little track and everything set up here in the garage that I use for a lot of my drift cars and stuff. I'm just driving around there and see how the control is. I'm noticing, kind of as I expected, we do not have proportional throttle or brake here. If I go and I turn the wheel, nothing happens until I hit a switch, and then it turns constant. Same thing the other direction. Same thing right here for the throttle. The throttle, if I just hit it, it's just an immediate, just a switch. You can feel the switch hit in there. Same thing for reverse. Nothing happens, and then it's full reverse. It means that control of this is going to be a little more difficult because it's kind of all or nothing from both the steering and a throttle. It's non-proportional steering and throttle. Which means we have instant reverse, which is fun for the garage. You can make it, you hit instant reverse and the steering at the same time, and it does a fun trick. Probably much more fun in a house, carpet, that kind of thing. You can get it though. You can get it. It's decently. Whoa. Reverse is instant. Oh, I was gonna try to see if it would do a reverse wheelie. Nope, nope. Two very important questions that folks always want to know with vehicles like this. Can it pull a wheelie? No, nope, cannot pull a wheelie at all. Not enough initial power there to pull it up. Two, can it go in grass? And honestly, it is fall. You can see leaves are coming down in my yard here. So grass isn't very tall, and yeah, it can't. It just doesn't have the power to pull through the grass. It'll go if you have momentum, and then it just kind of bogs to a stop. Back from the quick test on our little budget, under $30, super cheapo 18th scale RC truck. First thing I want to talk about is things to watch out for. It is not hobby grade. So the kind of the definition of a hobby grade RC is that the parts are available and you have instruction manuals and it is repairable in some form or fashion. This is not. I cannot find anywhere where parts are available for it, and it's only $30. You're going to spend more on parts than the truck costs. So you can't upgrade it, you can't repair it, non-hobby grade, which means you're buying it for the one-time fun, and as soon as it does break, you're pretty much done with it and you're on to something different. With that comes its price point though. So because it is literally only $30, it is vastly cheaper than anything that I typically recommend. As a quick comparison, here are a couple of the vehicles that typically for this size and more budget oriented price entry that I actually suggest to folks. I keep them around, and a lot of times these are the ones that I hand off to other folks when they come to my house and they bring their kids and they want to drive a car. I'll give them one of these. So this is a high boxing 18th scale. So you can see that their 18th scale comes out a little bit bigger actually than it. It has a bigger, more powerful motor in it. Goes through the grass, does all that well. And then yet another step up is this 16th scale vehicle from Hosum. Brushless power, 4-wheel drive. Both of these are 4-wheel drive, easily rechargeable batteries, much more power than this, and you can buy the parts and repair these vehicles when you're done. But of course, the big difference is price, where this one's $30. This one comes in right at $100, and this one is, I think it's in that like 130-ish, 140-ish range, something along those lines. It's a huge difference, right? That is a very big percentage difference versus a $20-something car. But that is the choice that you have to make when you are buying these vehicles. Do you want the one that's a little bit cheaper and is probably the one-time purchase? Do you want one that's a little bit more expensive, but might be something that you can keep around for longer? So at the end of the day, who is this truck really for? Probably some very young kid, probably is who's going to get this as a gift. And you know, it's fine. You know, it is fine. It is fun. You can have fun with it in here on a paved surface. You can make little jumps like we did out of a cardboard box. You can do all that kind of stuff and have fun with it. Once you get outdoors, if you leave a paved surface, it's going to start having trouble. It could probably do light dirt work, right? Like I think baseball field or something along those lines. The dirt there, probably fine, but clearly grass or anything along those lines, the motor is just too small, doesn't have enough torque, doesn't have enough power to overcome any of that. So if you're going to purchase this, you definitely have to be mindful of where will it be used. This could actually be a fun, potentially indoors. If you have a large enough indoor space, not a garage, but like carpet in your house, I could see this actually being really fun. So just consider the usage before you buy it. If you are interested in buying this, I will have a link to it down in the video description. And as of right now, it's actually running a coupon code to where it's even cheaper than $30 yet, even more percentage off from that. I have some alternate plans for this thing that'll be coming up in a future video. If you are curious about what I will end up doing with this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and we will see you in one of those future videos. Thank you, and goodbye.